boom, 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 boom.
Hey guys, it's the Plum Dot here. Happy New Year! So we are starting off the new year with a collab with the amazingly talented Artie-Simmer. Now, if you guys haven't checked out her channel, I highly suggest you go and do this. I know I say that about everybody that I collab with, but honestly, go and check out Artsie-Simmer's channel. I will have all of her links down below. The girl does everything. She does Sims 3, she does Sims 4, she does builds, she does Let's Plays, she does casts, like everything you could want in a channel. Artie-Simmer has it, so definitely go and check her out and show her some love. When I first started YouTube, or when I was thinking about starting YouTube, I picked this girl's brains to death. She was probably like, leave me alone. But she was so incredibly helpful when I wanted to know how to make intros and outros and how to edit thumbnails, and she does have those tutorials up on her channel, so like I said, go and check her out. So we decided that we were going to do a townhouse collab because townhouses are something that I want to build, or apartments are something that I want to build, but I just haven't worked up the courage. So Artsie-Simmer built this beautiful townhouse, and to see the shell being built, you'll obviously have to go and check out her portion of this collab. But I had the idea when I was decorating it that I wanted it to be sort of new year, new roommates, new townhouse type of thing. So this is like a swanky upper class townhouse where two roommates have moved in. So there is a little bit of clutter in the house, but it's not overly cluttered. And I just sort of had the idea that these roommates were going to, you know, have a little bit of money and be able to have a townhouse that is furnished to high spec. So obviously here we are in the kitchen where I always start what is new, and we're almost done. It's a tiny kitchen, it's not very big, but I feel like I was able to fit in a lot of stuff. So you've got a lot of counter space, and of course we've got an island in there because you guys know that I love my islands, and we're just putting little bits and pieces in the kitchen, but like I said, not overly cluttered. Now I just lost my train of thought. Yes, now I know what I was going to say. I was so excited when I saw the exterior of the home because I was like, this gives me a reason to do exposed brickwork. So there is exposed brickwork throughout this entire home, and I just love that look. I just think it's so classy and chic and cool. And I also did a black and white theme, which is not something that I do very often. So a lot of the furniture is going to be black and white, and there's going to be pops of color throughout because I do have to have my pops of color, but for the majority of things it's black and white, which I think is just so classy and cool. I'd love to live in a black and white apartment and then just have these like random loud pops of color in your face. So the walls are going to be quite neutral throughout the home, so grays, dark blues, and then in one of the bedrooms it's dark purple, but they're mostly sort of your neutral dark colors. I've been going through a dark color phase, and I really like it. A lot of people like light and airy and like, you know, open, but I'm all about the dark colors at the moment, and I just think it really, really works. So we're just putting in some tube lighting, I guess you would call it, fluorescent lighting under the shelving in the kitchen, and then we're going to move on to the front room, which is where we are, and I put in the dining room here. So this, because it's so narrow, what was I gonna say? I'm losing my train of thought. This is the first voiceover that I've done since before Christmas, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. But because the house is so narrow, things might seem a little bit cramped, but I did play test everything like I always do, so everything does work. So in the screenshots, you're going to see that the table's kind of been flipped around in a different angle because the the chair closest to the stairs, my sim couldn't sit in that chair, so I just had to flip the dining room table around just so that I could make sure that everything was usable. I've got one of my testers that is the professional sort of chair sitter, because all of my other testers, I've got 5 testers in total, and all of my other testers have their handiness skills up to 10, and this one tester is more of my painter sim, and she is maxed out in cooking, I believe. So I just have her go around and she sits in every chair, lays on every bed in the home just to make sure that everything works, and it does work. Now, I only ran into one problem while I was playtesting this house, and it's actually upstairs. I tried to be clever. Well, I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself. We'll talk about it when we get up there. So let's just continue talking about the dining area. It's not really a room, it's just sort of a space, and that is basically it. I wanted to have mirrors, and I really love that sort of cabinet that I believe came with the store venue that has the jewelry making in it. So I wanted to put that in there. Now you'll see that I just got rid of a couple of windows. I didn't make many changes to the inside of the home. Like, the layout was already done by Artsie-Simmer, so I didn't want to make too many changes, but I just had to get rid of those windows because I figured that if it was a townhouse, at least one side of the home would have been connected to another townhouse at some point. That was my thinking. So I got rid of those windows, and you've only really got windows on the front, and I do end up putting windows on the other side opposite to this wall that we're looking at. So I'm just doing the living room area, trying to figure out a coffee table, and these coffee tables that I'm using right now are from Aurora Skies, but they're basically useless. You can't put anything on those shelves, and I was so upset because I thought, look at that entertainment center, it looks awesome. So I was really kind of salty that nothing would fit on there, so I had to get rid of it. But I really like this, which I believe came from Showtime. So I do like that coffee table. I just wish the Aurora Skies ones would have worked better because only certain things go on certain coffee tables, and I was like, what? So just going in and putting some pictures because, you know, you need pictures. And there's my exposed brick again. It is everywhere, you guys. I was so happy when I was like, yes, this is the perfect home to do it. And of course, I've thrown down my favorite armchair from 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff, and that stays there. And then I believe this chair this sofa that I've put down is from Late Night. I didn't use a lot of store content. I believe I used things from Aurora Skies, it's not Prismatic, the Prisma Art Studio, and the bakery loft set. It's not a loft set. Good God, my brain is fried. The bakery indulgent set. So those are the few things that I can remember off of the top of my head that I used from the store, but everything else is expansion packs or stuff packs. So I just wanted to make it so more people could download and enjoy this home. And there is no custom content. Now you will see a few times that I go in and I'm like, maybe I'll put down some custom content. But then I decided, no, let's not do that. But I did wrestle with it a lot, and there are a few times, like I said, where I was like, yeah, this would look good as custom content, but I took it out and we're left with some pretty cool stuff. I think it looks really, really good. I'm really happy with the results of it. So here I am just putting in those 2 windows on the other side, and we're gonna put in a clock, and then we're going to jump upstairs. Now I did change a little bit of the layout here, and this is where I ran into the problem. I've moved the bathroom over to the other side just here. And made it so it was a bit more open upstairs and made the open to blow a little bit smaller. And then I thought I would get kind of smart and extend the bedroom that's here. But Artsie-Simmer had it completely correct, because when I went to when I was play testing, my Sims couldn't go up to the 3rd floor because I had extended the wall too far. Like, come on, I wish Sims were a little bit smarter than they are. Sometimes they're just completely dumb. Like, there was enough space for my Sim to walk up to the 3rd floor, but they were like, nope, I'm not doing it. So here we are in the 1st bedroom, and what I really like about how this is laid out is that there's a bedroom on each floor. So it's kind of like each roommate gets their own floor and has their own bathroom, and I really like that about the layout. Now, when I was initially decorating this particular room, I had it in my mind because if you can see just out on the balcony, there's a easel, and I thought, well, this will be like the artsy sort of painter Sim that would have this room. And so I get rid of the TV and I go for some pictures. And yeah, that's just what I had in my mind, is that somebody really artsy would take on this room. And but then I wanted upstairs, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, I always do this. I wanted upstairs to be more of the sort of, I was going to say more of the intellectual, but that's like saying that an artsy person isn't an intellectual. But somebody who was more into the logic skill, but I quickly poo-pooed that and went with something else. But we'll talk about that when we get upstairs. So this is basically the layout of this bedroom. It's not massive, but what else do you need in a bedroom besides a dresser, a bed, some side tables, and, you know, some art? Now, that plant is a plant that I use in a lot of my homes, and I'd used it in the home that I built for Wisteria, and which that hasn't come out to my channel yet, but it will be. And I was trying to tell her where I got all the store content that I had used in her home, and I could not find where that plant is called. And it's called the topper, and I Google searched it and everything, and it's actually part of a free set called Eartha, which you can find on the Sims store. So that is a free set for anybody who would like it, but that is one of my favorite plants, and it is featured in a lot of my homes. So we're just going through and recoloring everything, and it's just, you know, very, very simple, but you've got that lime green loud pop of color, and I really like it. And I just thought that somebody who was artsy might like a watermelon chair. Like, who wouldn't like a watermelon chair? I know I would. So I made it the watermelon chair, and it kind of, and I'm just realizing this, it kind of matches the bedspread. So here's the bathroom. And it's just a 3x3 bathroom. It's not massive. You've got the shower tub combination, a toilet, and 2 sinks, but it is quite swanky. I kind of went, when I was recoloring, I went for sort of marble countertops. Like, this townhouse is the bee's knees, the dog's bollocks. I would love it. So yes, I know I always say that about my builds, but honestly, I do love this. So here we go, putting on the sort of marble countertops, which are a little bit hard to see because I started with white, but then went with this sort of gray tone, and I like how it turns out. And then I did the little trick with the sinks where you put metal in them, and it just looks like it's sort of stuck in the counters, and I really like how that looks. So that's the bathroom. There's not much to it, and we're shortly going to be moving on to this little open area, which it's not massive. I thought it was a little bit bigger than it was, and you'll see I'm going to try and put a pool table in here, but there's just no way that it's going to fit. I mean, it probably would have fit if I put move objects on, but I imagine that there was going to be some fits being thrown by my tester sim. So I went with the foosball table, a what is that called? That is called a chess table, and just a little seating area and a radio. So it's just kind of like a cool little hangout area where the roommates could get together and just have a good time. Now, like I said, I had 5 Sims in this home at the same time, so I suppose you could throw some parties if you wanted to, because this would honestly be the place to throw parties, because it's just that cool. It's like a party pad. but I wouldn't recommend any more than 5 Sims just hanging out on this lot. Now, I want to know, what did you guys do for your new year? How did you ring in 2018? Do you guys have any resolutions that you're hoping to keep up with this year in 2018? I tend not to do resolutions because I never stick to them. I'm horrible for sticking to resolutions. Like, I usually am like, I'm gonna go to the gym more and I'm gonna eat better. That never happens. Like, I'm still eating Christmas chocolate, so we all know I'm not going to the gym anytime soon, and I don't really have any Sims resolutions either. But let me know down below in the comments, what resolutions have you guys made for yourselves, and also tell me how your Christmas was. My Christmas, I spent down at my mother-in-law's down south in the south of England, and my husband and I actually cooked Christmas dinner. Now, it was fabulous. It was like a full-blown American Christmas dinner, which I don't think my in-laws were prepared for because I cooked everything from scratch, and they weren't prepared for that. So it was a little bit of a shock. However, I think I poisoned everybody because the day before we left, everybody got sick. My husband and I were sick. My mother-in-law was sick. My sister-in-law was sick. Her girlfriend was sick. Everybody was sick except for my brother-in-law, his girlfriend, and their baby. So I don't know what it was. I think it might have been the gravy, but we're all recovered now, which is really good. So I've rambled my way up to the top of the home, and this is the little office space. At first it was closed off and there was a door, but I thought I would open it up and make it sort of just this nice little office space. There's a computer, there's a lounge chair, and a bookcase, and that is it. And there's my favorite, I was gonna call it a tree, my favorite plant there again, and that is all she wrote in this room. It's teeny tiny, but I think it's cute and it functions perfectly well. So that's the most important thing, is that you will be able to have your Sims use this space. You would think that maybe it might be a bit iffy with the chair that close to the wall because, you know, as I've said, Sims are a bit stupid. But it all works, and that computer is upgraded, and I think I did unbreakable. Most of the things when I upgrade a home are unbreakable. I don't do the self-cleaning or the improved graphics. I just don't want things to break on you guys. So this is a little haul. There's not much to it. And we're going to move into the bathroom next. Now, usually I leave bathrooms till the very last room that I do in a home. But I thought we'd go for something different and do the bathroom and then do the sort of master, if you like. I mean, the roommates will be fighting over this large bedroom because it is massive. It takes up the entire length of the I believe it's the front of the home. So yeah, I would definitely be fighting for that big room. But this is the bathroom that connects to the big bedroom, and it's pretty much the same as the downstairs bathroom. I took everything from downstairs and pulled it upstairs just because I don't know, that's just what I was thinking. So that's what I did, and it pretty much has the exact same things in it as the downstairs, and exposed brick, of course. So I think the only thing left to do is just recolor this towel rack and these towels, and then we're going to move into the big old giant master. I call it a master, but I guess the big old giant bedroom. And it's got French doors into it. Like, who wouldn't want this room? It is gorgeous, and I like how it turns out. I was gonna go for a 4-poster bed at first, but then I don't know, I just feel like 4-poster beds obstruct views. So I didn't want to do that, and I went for this base game bed, which I really like. I think it's really cute. So I should probably be a good little egg and update you guys on what is happening with the channel. So I've got some pre-recording to do because I'm actually going home to the States on Monday for about 10 days. So I'm going to try my hardest to get loads of content ready for you guys. But we all know that I am an indecisive sloth, so hopefully I can get everything done that I want to. But just bear with me if everything's not out while I'm away. I promise that I will make it up to you guys. I've got so many ideas that I want to bring out to the channel in the new year, and we're gonna keep it Christmas for a little bit, probably while I'm away and into January. So if you guys, like my Christmas intro and outro, this is the place to be because it's gonna be here for quite some time. So I hope that you guys are okay with that and will stay in the Christmas spirit with me. But here we are in what I've been dubbing the master bedroom, because I would fight to have this bedroom. I think it's really awesome and really, really cool. So like I said, I at first wanted this to be sort of somebody who liked the logic skill, but then I started pulling out sort of fashion items, makeup, the mannequins, and I was like, this is the room for a fashionista. So I put in the drafting table, which you're seeing now, and it just all sort of came together for me. Does that ever happen to anybody else? That you start pulling items and the room sort of forms itself and you just sort of pull it together and you're being guided by some unknown force to decorate a certain way? No? Just me? I guess so. So I think on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you guys with some music because we are almost to the end of the video and the screenshots. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And guys, like I said, go and check out Artie-Simmer. All of her links will be down below in the description. And if you guys aren't already subscribed and you like what you see, why don't you go ahead and hit that button? Don't be a plum stranger now, guys.